It was a weekend where we felt like we left something on the table. With the game with West Texas A&M, just went back and watched the film yesterday with the guys, and I told them, they'd be kicking themselves over a number of plays down the stretch. And man, we didn't shoot well, but we didn't play particularly well either. And you got to credit West Texas A&M for just making plays, and then obviously, as we discussed right in the aftermath of the game on Friday, I dropped the ball there, not having them ready to foul with 5.6 left, and kind of second-guessed myself out of doing what I thought was the right thing. But guys, the response on Saturday was tremendous. I told them going into Saturday we'd find out a lot about the fiber of our team, because you go and you play the top 10 West Texas A&M team. You lose in devastating fashion, and you got to turn around in 18 hours and play a team in Davenport that's in the top 15 in a lot of polls. So that's a really difficult thing to do, and I thought our guys just responded as well as you could. Played, in my opinion, the most complete game in terms of offensively and defensively in my tenure here. So that was great to see. It says a lot about the kind of guys we have in the locker room, the kind of pride they have, their ability to. We always talk about there's a lot of talented teams, but how you respond to things is the key. And so whether you're responding to success or responding to failure, I thought in this case it was failure, but I thought our response was collective and connected, and guys took ownership certainly, and performed at a really high level against an outstanding Davenport team that I think will go on to win 20 plus games this year, and it'll be an NCAA tournament team. So we're not going to shoot that well every night. 18 for 23 from three going in the final, 4 or 5 minutes. That's hard to do in a gym by ourselves. So that's not the thing that I take with me from that game. The thing I take is how together we played on both ends of the floor, and that helped us generate great looks. But our defense, I thought, was significantly improved from Friday, where we were really pretty spread out, didn't do a great job on the ball, didn't do a great job on the glass. On Saturday, I thought we were really great on the basketball. Our gaps were tight, our alertness, our awareness. We always talk about, from a defensive standpoint, want our identity to be a team that covers for one another, that scrambles, that's active. And I thought, we really checked all those boxes on Saturday. So we leave, I think, in a obviously disappointed, because we wanted to be 2-0, and we feel like we probably should have been 2-0, even with all as poorly as we played. Had I done the right thing down the stretch, we're 2-0, probably coming into this weekend. But I think we have it's a little bit of perspective. We know what we're capable of when we play together, and we're right and we're at our best. And we also know the consequences now of when we don't, and so that's hopefully a good place to be. I told them yesterday, well, there's a long way to go. We'll see how the season plays out. But the only other time that I've lost that a team since I've been here my 12 years, we lost the opener, was 15-16, and that team went to the national championship. So, hope that's a good omen. But we got a long way to go to become even a good team, never mind an elite team.
Josh, when you took over the helm of the LMU basketball program many years ago, the bar was being set by the Peach Belt Athletic Conference. It didn't take long for LMU to start dictating what was happening throughout the region. Now the Peach Belt's making that push back again to get up to the top and into the postseason, deep into postseason play. Having said all that, this weekend you're going to take on a pair of Peach Belt teams that are really two of the upper echelon of that league.
Yeah, for sure. This conference challenge is really difficult. We scheduled it coming out of the previous 4 years. We had King and Leeds McRae, and which presented its own challenges. But USC Aiken and Clayton State are both really good programs. Clayton State, prior to last year, had won the Peach Belt the previous 2 years. Aiken obviously was, I think second or third seed in the region, was up, had a chance to get to the regional championship and had as good a team as anybody. And so we got a chance to see Aiken play out in Missouri. Obviously, they got a chance to watch us as well. They weren't at full strength the first game. One of their better players, Faison Brock, didn't play. But then he was their leading scorer, 22 points in the second game. And Barmore, who's preseason All-American. Wasn't at his best out there, but he's a guy we know, we saw firsthand. He's a great player. And so super talented team for Mark, as it was last year. They're going to be really aggressive on both ends of the floor, attack you, and you got to be really, really sound defensively, really, really good on the basketball, and it's got to be not just individual, but 5 guys guarding the basketball. Clayton State, we don't know as much about because this will be their first game. So we'll see. We know 2 of their starting 5 were here last year in Brian Hart and Tion Williams, so we know those guys obviously very well. But the rest of it's a little bit of an unknown. They don't have a ton of guys back. Kyle Kinsey at the point guard is really good. He's been a multiple-year starter there. Brian, we know what he's capable of. Tion, they've got a couple of their transfers in that'll impact them, and it's going to be a significant challenge. I mean, every time you strap it up against this level of competition, you got to bring it. You got to be at your best. The margins are small, so we need a good few days here of preparation. We gave them off Sunday, obviously flying back. Gave them off yesterday, except for watching film. So 3-day prep for 2 teams is going to be difficult, but hopefully we'll be ready to go by Friday evening.